Hi guys, this is your introduction to the Internet Tools in the Classroom course. This overview will give you information about your instructor, what to expect from this course, and the requirements that you'll need to complete this semester. Here's our agenda for tonight. We'll start with some introductions to the course as well as your instructor, me. We'll go over some of the course requirements and expectations. We'll talk a little bit about the syllabus and other resources that you have in the resource section of your homepage. We'll discuss some of the blogging and other expectations for the course, and then end with a question and answer session. I'm Dr. Frazier. I am your instructor for this course, and I have been working in education for about 20 years now, 15 years in the public school system as a middle school teacher primarily, and I worked in both Newton County and then Cobb County. I worked as an ILT, which is an instructional lead teacher, area lead teacher, and then kind of ended up my years in Cobb as a technology coach. I've been working at KSU for the past 6 years, 2 of them full-time, teaching students in the ITEC department. Okay, so a little bit about the course. The purpose of this course is to introduce you to the methods and strategies for using Internet tools effectively with students. There are 20 PSC standards and 20 ISTE coaching standards, so this is a very busy course, but it's also a very practical course that you can take the tools straight back to your classroom and use them with students. There are 8 modules, and what you'll want to do is go through each page of your module, watch the videos, read the articles, look at the different tools, and take notes on the things that really interest you that you would want to include in your blog. And you want to use the assignment by module checklist so that you'll know exactly what the blog prompts require as you're going through the module. And that's the little document in the resource section that says print this, because I think it's that important. Your course schedule is also listed in that resource section, and blogging tips. Very important that you print those out. They will be very helpful as you write your blogs, especially at the beginning. Finally, you'll have your deliverables. Deliverables are artifacts that prove that you utilize the tool that you're discussing and that you learned in the module. You want to make sure that your artifacts are actually showing you using the tool or how you would use the tool with your students, not just a picture of the website. So that is just your proof that you used the tool and created something that you could use the tool with students. Okay, so there are some important policies in the syllabus that you need to be aware of. Make sure that if you decide that you're not keeping up with the course and you want to withdraw from the course, that you do this before the midpoint of the semester. It is very difficult to catch up after that point, and I've had a lot of students that have had difficulty past that point getting out of the class and passing it. So make sure that you discuss with me if you would like to withdraw from the course. But if you decide to stay, know that it's very difficult to give an incomplete grade. Often students come to me and ask me if they can get an incomplete. There are very specific requirements, and I've been turned down many times. So make sure that you are working till the very last 2 weeks of the semester and you have all your assignments in up until then, because if you don't, you cannot be granted an incomplete. An incomplete is for some reason an emergency comes up in the last 2 weeks of the class, and you need extra time to finish the course, and you can be given an incomplete to complete the course the next semester. But you have to complete the course up to those 2 weeks. So that is the requirement for an incomplete, and you can find that in the syllabus. Also, make sure you follow the guidelines of academic integrity and turn in your own work. All of your assignments will be graded in D2L, so make sure everything is submitted in D2L, but you'll also put it in your Weebly blog. And I'll tell you a little bit more about the requirements for chalk and wire, because you're going to want to have documents to put in your chalk and wire at the end of the semester as well. Okay, we already talked a little bit about the module deliverables. You have 2 field experience projects that you'll do this semester. I'm going to talk more in detail about those at the midpoint meeting, but you will have the structured field experience, which is a lesson plan development using the tools that you've learned this semester, and you have to implement those tools in a lesson plan with your students. That is a requirement, and that does require 15 hours. The ELL module is the unstructured field experience, and that is 5 hours working with an ELL student or students after you complete the actual module, where you will have an assessment. You will have to create objectives for your students. Like I said, I'll talk about this more at the midpoint, but just know that these will be your field experience projects this semester. And then there's also a preparation and participation grade that you'll get at the end of the semester. So make sure you're always participating and prepared and have things in on time in the coursework. Okay, most of you have already completed this and put your information in the Google Doc. This is a really important document because it will give you links, if you see where it says Weebly page, blog page URL, where you will know where to go when students have completed their blogs, and you can go in and comment on them. So each week you'll write down and put a notification that says you've completed the blog, your blog, and it's up and ready for comments. And that's going to help your peers because they're going to want to go in and comment on your blog. So that's the important purpose of the Google Doc. It also lets you get to know your peers, because you may want to learn more from somebody in your subject area or more from somebody that lives close to your area, or even just looking at a certain grade level. So that Google Doc is actually very important. Okay, I mentioned a little bit earlier that there are blogging tips in the resource section of your homepage. As I said before, I would print those because they are very, very helpful. I wrote those up about 4 years ago because people were having a lot of trouble with getting into the requirements for the blog. It is a professional blog, and you do have professional expectations, but you can put your personality in, and it is a little bit more casual writing. So as you see, you can give each post a title. Make sure that you have left alignment, because sometimes it gets very, very messy when it's not aligned. And you will use APA style for all references, quotes, and internal citations. Now, if there is something that you are quoting from the web, or you're going to a certain website, you will want to just link those, hyperlink those in your blog, and that is perfectly okay. Make sure when you're writing out your blogs that you tie your ideas to research, including the readings that you'll do in your textbook and in the module, the videos, any internet sites you use, articles, etc. So just make sure that you have these hyperlinked in the text of your blog. You also want to embed or provide a link to the technology artifacts. It's a lot better if you can embed them so that we can see them in action right there in your blog. And make sure that you explain them. Don't just put a picture without any explanation. And once again, use those blogging tips. As far as the blogging assignments go, do not quote somebody if a summary will do. It's not good to put a lot of quotes in. And you want to make sure that you kind of keep those to a minimum. Use your own words, but you can reference them, the experts without quoting them. So you can see some of that in your blogging tips. That will help you. Be very specific, write as if your readers haven't read what you have. So they have not read what you have. So you never want to put the questions that you have in your assignment in your blog. You just want to address them. Because remember that people can be reading these blogs from all over the world, and they do. So make sure you're writing as if they don't have any idea that you're writing this for a course. You don't want to put the questions in there. You don't want to say, I agree with the author about this, without talking about who the author is. Finally, when you do your peer replies, and you only have one peer reply per blog, you want to use the ABC format for replying, which is to acknowledge something that your peer said, so you're kind of connecting with them, build upon what they discussed, and then conclude with a Socratic question or some kind of higher order question for your peer or peers, because other people would be reading this as well. And those three components are necessary in order to get all of your points for the peer commenting. Okay, so as I mentioned before, you want to submit your assignments as documents to D2L. So in those assignment boxes, you need to make sure that you submit your blog, your peer commentary, and your artifacts to the box. And when you do this, you're also going to put your blog on the Weebly as well. So it kind of feels like double duty, but you have to do that. It does not matter if you turn it all in one document or you send in several documents. That is your choice. So you may want to do your blog, submit it, and then submit your commentary and your artifacts later, another day, the next day, or something like that. So you'll submit your blog and comment in one document or separately. That's your choice. And put your deliverables in the same box because I'll grade it all right there. Post your blog in the Weebly for comment, and don't forget to put a note in the Google Doc stating that your blog is ready for commentary. Finally, you're going to want to keep a running list of your texts of the blog for Chalk and Wire. So you'll have one document with each of your blogs in that document. I'll discuss this more when we get into the meeting. All right, so communication. This is so important to me. Please make sure that you answer any emails that are sent to you and let me know if you're having problems as soon as possible. Always respond to me and keep me informed if there's any kind of situation that I need to know about. If you text me, make sure you give me your course number and your name so that I can give you a quick response and know who I'm talking to. So usually I'm pretty quick with my responses to texts, and I don't mind texting with you as long as you let me know who you are and what course you're in. Finally, very important, the art and science of asking questions is the source of all knowledge. I do not mind questions. I think it helps clarify things for everyone, and usually if one person has a question, several people have that same question. So do not be afraid to ask me questions. One more reminder, our midpoint meeting will be on Monday, October 1st or Wednesday, October 3rd, your choice of meetings. That meeting we will discuss the 2 field experience projects, and I will go into detail about exactly what's expected out of those projects. Okay, now you can head back to the Blackboard Collaborate room. Thanks.